Welcome everyone to
Welcome.
season 8, episode 1.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yo,
Okay.
Yo, what's up? What's up, party peoples?
can't wait to get started on Winter's Heart.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, fun
I was
times.
hoping to give Alan a heart
I've
attack.
had a headache, so maybe I read the wrong.
No, you're in the right one. Path of Daggers is where we're at. So a few housekeeping things. No new patrons. As far as our next Wad of Fortune, that's going to be, I think, on May 13th, tentatively. We're still working on finalizing contestants, but that's going to be coming up. And at some point, we do have to get together and figure out when we're going to record this Cosmere stuff.
Yeah, because I'm ready to read.
Yeah. So, Ian, let me know.
I'm ready.
Okay. So we can do it whenever. So it's up to you guys. Depending on how fast we do tonight's episode, we can do it tonight.
Yeah.
Depending.
In theory, I could.
In theory. Are you ready to do it, Ian? All right, we're gonna go ahead and do Cosmere right now. I'm kidding.
Actually. So let's summarize real quick. Path of Daggers, stuff happens, new people.
Stuff happens. Okay, yeah, let's go.
New people. And then Verin bad? Question mark. Darth Verin?
I don't know.
Jumping so far ahead. Let's actually.
Yeah,
we are live.
There we are live. Oh, yes, we are live. So
starting on time from now on.
Yeah. Well, I decided to do like a 5-minute countdown. I missed the 30-second click to the other video because I just figured that if you do a 5-minute, that way you get time for people to get the notification saying, "Hey, we're live." Get people in here. So yeah, personal life. Well, I'm a glutton for punishment because I'm still licking my wounds and recovering from Jordan Con
and drinking,
which I should be sober. I should not be drinking right now because I drank way too much over the weekend. But great time at Jordan Con. I had a fantastic time. We had a good time with Allie and Gus and Danny and Brett on our first time reader panel. That was live streamed, so you can go back and check that out on our channel. The audio is not that great because I had Delusions hold my phone and just record that
Delusions, the champion. She held that phone for over an hour, just like this.
Oh,
my arm hurt just looking at her.
Yeah, she did a great job. But yeah, audio's not that great. It's cell phone audio. It goes back to our glory days. We first started and had the audio. It's just it's a throwback.
If you enjoyed our first few episodes, you'll be just fine listening.
I should have just brought my equipment down. I had all my equipment, but it was at 10 o'clock in the morning, and like I woke up and I was like, oh shit, I gotta do a panel.
That was right after a fire alarm.
Yeah, that was right after the fire. We had the fire alarm first thing in the morning. Like I was getting ready to take a shower and had to evacuate.
Ian, we thought of you.
Definitely.
You missed it too. You know how many people brought possums?
Yeah.
There possums all over Jordan Con.
Yeah, there's little possums. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, it was great to see everybody. Great to see a lot of other content creator friends and a lot of fans and a lot of people that listen to us and people that hadn't listened to us that just discovered us over the weekend. That was really cool. Had a fun time. Just interact with everyone, hanging out in the lobby, collecting ribbons. I collected so many ribbons. It's a little ridiculous how many ribbons I collected this year. But yeah, it just keeps going and going and going.
And the side ribbons.
Going.
That's lovely.
So many ribbons.
And Wine Spring Cafe, who's going to be on our podcast in a few weeks as a guest. She had the Trolloc balls, which is
I didn't get the Trolloc balls.
Yeah, Trolloc balls were was clutch. But yeah, really cool. Got my Wheel of Time Origins book signed by Michael Livingston. I had him sign it to Dark Finale. So I was excited to do that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he said, "You want me to write that down on paper?" I was like, "Yes, I do."
Not just show anybody else. This is right. Between you and I.
Right. Yeah, Ian's spirit pulled the alarm because Ian was not there at Jordan Con. That's okay. Yeah, good times. So can't wait for next year. Excited to do it again. So yeah, Alan was pulling the alarm. I thought about it. I think in the panel we actually joked around saying I did just to make sure everybody would wake up and attend the panel.
Between you and Allie. It was between you and Allie. That was the joke, ongoing joke.
Yeah, that was the joke. Yeah. It was good times. That's all what's really going on with my personal life is just yes, that's all that's happened the last few days. It's just been nothing but Wheel of Time stuff, which has been fantastic.
Well, if you went to Jordan Con, then you already know all of Alan and Chris's stories from the weekend. So I guess I'll be the outlier here. I did not go, obviously. I'm very sorry for that, and I know it's a last minute decision. I almost announced it in the last episode, but it just, life. I did tell a few people. Had court stuff to do with the custody of the kids the Wednesday before. A lot of stuff at work, some pressure there. Still got some back issues going on. Got some health issues with other people within the family. And it got to be enough where I was like, okay, I know me. Like, I'm at my breaking point. I probably should not go to Atlanta and drink heavily and make bad decisions. So part of me still regrets it. Y'all were posting so many pictures and it just looked like a great time. But I'm also very glad I stayed home. And this is where my update on life gets semi sad. So some of my kids are old enough and going to court. Of course, they talk to the guardian ad litem, and my whole thing so far has been to just support the kids and what they want. I probably could have in the past, gone after full custody of the kids, and that might still be in the cards in the future. But then I'm also telling myself, well, if the kids want to stay where they're at because of school or whatever, like, I'm not going to force that change because that's just going to make them bitter with me. That's going to cause more resentment with my ex, everything. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to just go with what the guardian ad litem suggests. And the guardian ad litem talked to the kids, thought we had a pretty good plan, recommendation. And my ex was like, no, we're going to court. So we still went to court. We tried it. I didn't have a lawyer. So I'm up there answering questions, asking questions, trying to keep my shit together. I was probably crying half the time because I'm a wuss. And then the judge has the to be like, well, I appreciate the guardian ad litem and all the work she put in, but I'm just going to put in an order like totally different from her recommendation. And I feel like it was one of these things, my ex had a really good lawyer, well-known in the area. It was one of those professional courtesies like, well, let me throw her a bone. Well, this is the repercussion I didn't think of. My kids are older. They did speak to both me, their mom, and the guardian ad litem about what their wants are and what they want. And that didn't happen. So they're not happy.
No.
And well, it turned pretty sour. They were supposed to meet me to go to Top Golf, and they showed up at the house like really upset. I won't put too much of their info out there, but there was a big explosion of emotions and yelling and screaming at their house where they live with their mom, where they also live with their mom's mom, with their grandparents. And the grandparents decided to like lay into them and start yelling and screaming and kick them out of the house and said they could not come back until Monday. Oh. And that's just, so dealing with that now, that was a big cluster.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Alan's first question when he got back was, how was your weekend? Were you able to relax? Are you doing okay? I was like, it was the most not relaxing weekend. Still glad I didn't go when I was home and able to, help and have an open house for the kids to come to and take care of that. But man, chaos. And I'm not going for pity points here. Just, we share. This is part of my therapy. Y'all could skip it and go straight to the show if you want, but it's just this is my life.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at. So yay
it
lawyer.
would be nice if people realize that the children are children. They are also people.
Yes,
and they have thoughts and emotions, and they don't even know how to fully apprehend. I mean, fuck it, as adults, we don't understand half of our own feelings. Let's just put it out there like that. I mean, and not to take away or anything, but like after leaving Jordan Con on the road back home, Chanel and I were discussing some things like goals and stuff for the up and coming years. And it took me, I mean, I'm just now kind of coming fully to terms with like where we want to be at in the next, 2 to 5 years. And to hear it put, asking a simple question like, how long do we want to wait till we have kids? How long do we want to wait till we start a family? Like, it was really cool to be at Jordan Con, be around that family. But then there were also people who like brought their kids to this event. I mean,
Mhm.
it's all PG, but you know, I was like, man, that's gonna be so cool when that's us. And that kind of triggered that, like, how long is it gonna be till that is us? And like where we're gonna be at in life. Like, are we still gonna be attending to Jordan Con when our kids are old enough to go to Jordan Con? And like, so like that's you know, you go into these spirals. But as adults, we don't even know how to fully comprehend our feelings.
Yeah.
So then for children to have to process that, and then for grandparents to be outright assholes, and there's no other way of putting it, and you can't say it because you're on the show and you don't need that recording going elsewhere, but I'll say it for you. For grandparents to be assholes like that, they don't deserve kids.
Way out of line. So I've said some probably not pleasant things, but in all fairness, you know, I have said to them and to the kids, it's like, you know, if they were in a position to play the role of just being grandparents, maybe they'd be good at it. But their attempt to be parents is,
and I've seen that. My aunt's gone through the same thing.
Good.
I mean, when we first started, I told you about the cousin who had the gun put to her head. Then, you know, she ended up going to South Carolina and living with her parents for 8 months while she found a home. And the whole time my aunt was just like, I hate this. I don't like this. Like, I now know how you got, because we grew up with that environment. That wasn't like, for them, that was world changing to have to be a grandparent, to take care of the grandkids and to have somebody living at home with them. But that was our existence. Yeah. So my aunt's just like, man, it's a totally different world. And she's like, I hate myself because I resent having my children around, my grandchildren around. Oh, and so you know that it happened. So switching gears now. I'm sorry that happened.
It is what it is. And in the big picture, though, you know, my kids are good. In the last 6 months, talked the older ones into, you know, going to counseling, so they got that third party person to talk to and vent to, and doing the best I can with the time I got, you know.
Yeah. So I will say, again, our weekend was good. You know, we definitely enjoyed our time at Jordan Con, and definitely, you know, missed Ian. Like, you were probably the most sought after person at Jordan Con. And that's not to make you feel guilty. That's just to let you know you were loved, because everybody was like, there's 3 of you. Where's Ian? It's like, Ian could make it today. And they were like,
the amount of people that came up to me and said, I met you. I met Chris. Where's Ian? I was like,
I'm so sorry.
So they were like, yeah, next year. Ian will be here next year. I'm like,
I will.
Yeah. So it just, you know, we just want you to know you were loved for sure. You know, there were a number of times where everybody's like, Ian would do it, or that's an Ian moment, or so you were there in spirit, most definitely.
Oh yeah,
well, I appreciate that.
Definitely. Definitely. And I tasted the taint, which was nice. Did you taste the taint?
First time,
Chris?
No, the taint.
Black Tower had the hot sauce. It was ghost pepper sauce.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, they had little mini crackers, and you had to.
I remember that.
Yeah, it burned. The taint burns. That was good.
No, there was plenty of other things to taste and to drink and to see and to do. And I will tell you the one thing that I wish you were there for, if I had to put a pinpoint on something, was the panel. We had the most fun.
I know.
And I tell you, you know, that you saw the level of planning that we did.
Right.
We did no planning at all.
But with that group, you shouldn't plan. You should just let it happen.
It was so and don't get me wrong. So Allie and I, we went back and forth a little bit on the Facebook chat, and then we talked about it for a little bit. So we had a direction, but it was just so organic and so fun. And the hour flew by way too fast. And we actually had almost a full room.
We ran over because
we had people. We ran over. Like,
people wanted to ask more questions. So I was like,
that's
we
great.
gotta take like one more question.
Year we gotta do it. Yeah, we have to do it again. And we have to do like a 101, 201 or something like other people did.
An update. Right. Yeah. That was fun. So, anyways, so now that we're 20 minutes into the podcast, and we have a review saying we talk too much, not about Wheel of Time. So let's get right into the podcast.
Look, that was for me. That wasn't for you all. That was for
now
me.
y'all know how I feel about those damn reviews. I'll say that on right here for everybody here.
I totally
do read them. We share it in the group. We read them. They're fun.
Alan shares them with us. And we literally, I have a moment where I'm like, "Are you effing kidding me?" Like there is that moment, like really. And then I'm like, "Hold on a second. I do this with my friends because I enjoy it." And those that listen and actually listen carefully know that we're here to enjoy this book, and that is it.
I just tell myself they're being sarcastic and messing with us, and then I laugh, and then we do the show the same way.
Yeah, exactly. I ain't
We're not changing.
No man.
It's been 3 years. You can flicker all the way back. It's those 3 years.
I wear the same underwear that I bought in 2018. Do you think I changed anything? Like, no. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. There's one bit of elastic still. I'm good.
Yeah, we got a negative review saying they only talk about Wheel of Time 75% of the time. The rest of it's just pointless banter
that they fast forward through.
I was like, then don't listen to us.
Which is fine. Or fast.
I said you go to 75%. I said that's bold. I didn't realize we talked that much about Wheel of Time.
I get about 50%.
Somebody
had 50
voice. Like, really?
Oh, that's right. That one I thought they were joking. I thought it was serious until they were picking on your singing voice, and I was like, oh, clearly this is satire. This is a joke.
It's okay.
Anyways,
deceptive appearances.
The prologue to
I like
the
to take
path
a dagger
of
to
Dagger. I did share the quote today. The Shan Chan saying, "On the heights, all paths are paved with daggers."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So are we gonna see a lot more of the Shan Chan in this book?
I don't know.
I feel like
is that a prediction? Is that a prediction?
Yeah, it is a prediction.
TBD.
I feel like I'm gonna go as far as saying 50% of this book is gonna have to do with the Shan Chan.
Oh wait, hold on.
Go that far.
We have to do also the cover too. We do that at every book.
Now that I have
boring Amazon Prime ones, so
I got the original art from Alan because he hooked me up.
Let's see images.
I had to go to his house and steal books because I'm poor. It is pretty good. I like this one. You got what is
big.
It's got to be Rand because he's got the crown of swords on his head, holding the sword.
I'm gonna make a legitimate attempt to read this go around instead of just audio booking it.
It's funny you say that. I just told myself that earlier today. Actually, going through the prologue for like the 5th time, I was like, I probably wouldn't have this issue like getting lost in the sauce of what's going on here if I would read the words.
Yeah.
Listening to this, it
was
my mind.
I'm gonna jump right in while Alan's finding it. Who in the heck in their right mind in the prologue introduces like 10, 20, 30 new characters? I know there's not that many, but
enough that it's
like, really?
The sauce was confusing for a bit. I mean, I have the gist of what's going on, but yeah.
The very first word in the prologue is a name of a new character.
Yeah. Right off the bat.
Was it ethanol or how do you pronounce it?
There we go. There we go.
We're gonna call it ethanol. It's very pretty.
Yeah. So we can talk about this this fun cover, all the fun art. So this is the same cover. This is the audiobook cover, but the same cover is the book.
Now, is that the hand mark blade? Because that does not look like a samurai blade to me, but I can't really.
Well, he's got it turned to the side a little bit. He's like. He's like, if you're from the bad news with a Glock, you got it, and he kind of does this when he's shooting to accelerate that bullet.
So they're marching around on horses. They got the Aes Sedai, the ancient
there are a
Aes
lot
Sedai
of
banner.
different banners back there. I see blue banners. I see white banners. Like
all the different armies, man. He controls everything now. It's
everybody.
Yeah, everybody.
Are those mountains in the background or are those clouds?
It looks like mountains and clouds. I see like on to the left is kind of like those peaks, like jagged peaks.
Yeah.
So there's if you flip it over, Chris, there's a Planet of the Apes type thing on the back. I don't know if Alan has that.
Ooh.
But it's like the large head of some statue with broken swords on it.
Yeah.
Just laying in the sand. Probably a statue of a actually is that the
probably a statue of Rand after? Maybe that's like
it looks like the crown of swords on it and all busted up.
Yeah,
That's probably like
What?
Rand's statue in the future.
Or the past. There is no time. 88 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Or whatever the speed is. 80 something.
Anyways. So yeah, it's a I think it's one of the better covers. Yeah. The Lord of the Chaos has like the fluffy white shirt Fabio thing going on.
Yeah.
Busch Gardens ruined Fabio for us.
Yeah. There's a couple other ones that like.
Oh, it's the Statue of Liberty. I like that.
It's a Statue of Liberty. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, so I think it's a better cover. Some of the covers are worse than others, but yeah, judge a book by its cover. It looks like a pretty cool cover. So let's get right into this prologue. So all the rulers from the Borderlands are all meeting together here, and this is from Atheniel Kurkon Matasu. Sorry, whatever pronounce their name. Point of view, and it's the rulers of Kandor, Arafella, Shinar, and Saldea, and they're all meeting about what's been going on. And this is like, this doesn't happen often where all of them meet. I think they mentioned that it's only happened 7 times since the breaking that they've actually gotten together like this. And
it's kind of it's a symbolic, like they do all the agreements ahead of time, and this is kind of like all right, everybody put your hands in, 1, 2, 3 team,
right?
You know?
Yeah. I mean, and we have to kind of talk a little bit about the landscape. Jordan puts a real big emphasis on that. He's like, you could travel 3 days through drought withered forests and brown grass meadows without seeing a single sign of human habitation. Then suddenly you find a bunch of people, essentially. The Black Hills were a rugged place for farmers away from trade routes and harsher now than usual. A gaunt leopard that should have vanished at the sight of men watched from a steep slope. Like, we feel this sense of the word desolation really works here.
Yeah, so it's basically Tennessee, like where you can just drive for hours and nothing, big city, nothing, big city. Sorry for anybody from Tennessee. You got Knoxville, Nashville, Memphis, and that's it.
Memphis, you could skip Memphis these days. That's a little bit dangerous.
You can, but talking about cities wise, or population centers, everything else is pretty sparse. And people come at me saying Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, that's Knoxville. Don't tell me it's anything different.
Yeah.
It's Knoxville.
But I mean, it really does set into mind the fact that these people they've already been going through it, and with the lack of rain and the seasons not really changing, they're going through that much more, to the fact that all of nature is being impacted by events that are happening way far off away from the blight.
Oh yeah,
because I mean they're near, right? They're near the blight,
and the blight's quiet.
Yeah, they're all the borders.
And the blight's quiet. They comment on that, how quiet the blight's been, like too quiet.
Well, that's because all the bad people aren't in the blight anymore.
Yeah, they're all everywhere.
Back door. Like they're guarding against nothing. What they should be doing is exploring the blight, finding out that they're gone, and like going, okay, well, we're gonna set up and take this over, destroy the way gates,
run some experiments at their meeting place at that spire. See what happens if you rub it.
Yeah, we get a quick name drop of
twist at the top.
Yeah, we do get a quick name drop here of also a character we've met before. Good old Lord Algorithm, or Algorithm.
The algorithm.
The algorithms.
So, this has me torn, but then it started to make sense. Okay, we had good feelings about Lord Algorithm when we met him, but when we met him, Rand was there with Aes Sedai, and then the whole delegation and the Amberlin came there, which reaffirmed that they're committed to the White Tower.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But the way the story unfolds, and as slow as we've been reading, I'm thinking he's on Rand's side. He's on Rand's side. He was never on Rand's side. That just crept in my mind because he was a character we liked. He did good things for us,
right?
But he didn't do it for Rand. No. So now I'm thinking, oh shit, that makes sense that he's not going to immediately be in Rand's back pocket. It's something my brain just assumed that I should not have assumed.
Yeah. I mean,
I still love him though.
even the Saldaean leaders, where Davrin Bashir has kind of pledged his armies, but they're kind of like, we don't know about this guy. They're very questionable about all of it. So he doesn't have the borderlands in his pocket like you think he would. I mean, so he's met them all. I mean, not all of them, but he's met.
At the end of this, it sounds like quite the opposite.
Yes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So the one queen, is it the Queen of Saldea talking about her uncle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Daggers.
Was that talking about Daggers?
Yeah, Queen Zenobia tries to set Queen Atheniel of Candor up with her uncle is Kaelin Ramson.
Yeah,
but anyway,
But she's talking about how I sent my uncle there for a specific task, and now he's been brainwashed and is working for.
Well, and she's also upset that
Reborn.
he's like friends with the king of the Ashaman. I mean,
right?
What is his name again?
Right,
Masantine.
So even some characters that we feel like Bashir, were like, okay, definitely on Rand's side, and we got this big army that's helping out, but the actual leadership from where they're from does not feel the same.
Right.
So,
but I mean, we're jumping really far ahead, and we're kind of missing some things like this Ethanel or Atheniel or whatever her name is. She's questioning
ethanol. Let's call it ethanol.
We'll call her ethanol. Hey, ethanol is making some decisions here about bringing together all of these rulers to, to essentially confront this quote unquote dragon reborn.
Right.
So they don't even entirely believe that he is who he say he is, and she wants to put him in his place.
Yeah.
These are people that are used to backing and being backed by the Aes Sedai, and they all left all but one. And so
But not just that, they have led the fight, not just against the Blight, but against darkness in this world for a long time. They've been the tip of the spear. They've been the last bastion. They've been guarding the rest of this world. And then there's somebody, he's claiming to be Dragon Reborn, but he's claiming to fight against, the dark. And they're like, well, you didn't fucking ask me. So
this is whatever the truth, Majesty. The White Tower appears to be paralyzed as well as shattered. You could have sat watching the Blight while the world crumbled behind you. You could have if you were someone else. Mm-hmm. Like they realize what their true obligation is. Oh, we can call her Moonshine. I actually like that too.
Moonshine.
We realize exactly what her main purpose is, what the purpose they serve is. But she's like, no, that we have to go out and make sure that the other people that we have this loyalty to, the Aes Sedai, are taken care of, and that we are going in the right direction. And here, so they have a special sword too. So she has her sword bearer with her. She's like, that's Bald. How do you say it? Baldair. Lord Baldair.
The guy who's not quite one of the best captains, but he ate.
Yeah, he's not a great captain, but he's pretty good.
He
She's like, do you have any qualms about this, my sword bearer? And he's like, I don't like hiding who I am, Majesty. He's just tired of sneaking around. It's like the world will know us soon enough, and what we've done or tried to do will end up dead or in the histories or both. So they might as well know what our names are to write. Like, I like this guy. I really do.
He's a bit of a realist. And he's not really out for glory.
Yeah.
But he recognizes the level of the situation. He's like, either we're gonna die, they're gonna write about us, or we're gonna be victorious, they're gonna write about us. But where we're at right now, this is kind of a big deal what we're doing. And I'm just gonna do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Sure. So what do you think about them? The number of Aes Sedai they all have between them?
13.
If you didn't catch that, it's 13.
13 Aes Sedai.
Right.
That
I thought they said they wish they had 13 since they were going south. They do have 13?
No, between the four of them.
All together,
there's 13 now.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. In the beginning, she didn't realize that because most of the Aes Sedai had left.
Right.
But once all of the people got together, she realized through a quick count that they have 13 Aes Sedai. And if something needed to be done, something could be done.
I mean, we're supposed to think 13, whoa, and it could be that, but we also know that within the world of Aes Sedai, there's a different Aja, and they think about doing things differently. But then you have the Black Aja, and then you have are all of these pro White Tower, or are we talking about diaspora Aja that are open to the conversation about the Egwene thing? So 13, yes, we know it could be dangerous for Rand and for others if they're all working towards the same thing and they come together.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know that I'm completely worried about that at this point. The odds of getting 13 Aes Sedai to agree to do anything. I think if you want to have 13 Aes Sedai working together, you need to start with like 60. And you might get
Probably
13 that get on the same page or close enough,
Yeah. Good point. Yeah. And this, I mean, anything from this conversation before we kind of wrap up, because it ends with them saying, they give the oath saying they're with each other to the death. They're going to, whatever they decide to do.
It's like a straight
together
oath, right? Don't they do the cut the hand, all put their hands in? There's like blood drips.
That's what I heard.
Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, part of me is worried about it, right? For Rand's sake. But
agreed.
With not knowing what's going to happen, they could march down there and maybe they realize that Rand is fighting the fight that they've been fighting their whole lives. And it just went from a, traditional World War II, like here's the battle lines, to like this new asymmetrical warfare where the battle is everywhere, right? And they
and especially when you have a queen that will bow to nobody, who thinks that everybody should, kiss her foot. I'm
about to have more comments on that too. But what I was going to say though is eventually we're going to find out somebody stabbed somebody in the back and it's not as unified as you might think. But the fact that they still follow through with this tradition, there's a camaraderie between these kingdoms essentially because of the job that they've had for so long. Mm-hmm. So part of me was like, this makes sense that when shit hit the fan, these people would come together and say, all right, it's up to us. We have to figure this out. Mm-hmm. So I'm not baffled by it. Chris, to your point, and I was waiting for you to bring it up. Maybe you're waiting for a better time, but we've got a Queen of Saldea, and she don't know yet that the new king and queen is about to be Perrin and Fael and a whole bunch of pups.
Well, and I mean, so I did think about that, but she is technically queen.
She is, and
her uncle will get the throne if something happens to her.
Right. So I guess I bring that up jokingly, not even jokingly, because I don't like messing with your feelings like that. But I think that's where the real conflict is going to be as far as that queen is concerned. Sure, she's going to be involved with some dabbling with Rand, and maybe there's some issues there. But the conflict with Perrin, Fael, Bashir, and her,
she might try to snatch Perrin up.
Remember, she doesn't seem like the type to put up with any sort of threat to her authority. She's very much in charge.
She might be like, Fael, she's mine now.
It could be that. Or it could be that she puts out a hit on Fael because she's like, well, Fael brought in, this new young, strong blood that's going to give us some wolf pups. Let me take out Fael and then he's mine. Mm-hmm. I mean, no true predictions other than I see there's going to be some significant conflict there. Perrin's going to have some issues with this queen.
Sure.
I can see that. I would agree with, but she's going to be awfully far way away from now. Mind you, she's bringing a shit ton of soldiers with her.
They all are.
They all are. So I'm intrigued as to how this is going to go, but I think again, with the Shan definitely going to be involved in this, I don't think they're going to have much time to think about all that.
Mm-hmm. True. There will be distractions. And by the way, before we leave this, isn't there somebody in the group that they specifically mention is wearing some fox something?
Oh, yeah. Fox helmet.
So fill us in on that, Alan.
Yeah, what's that all about?
Fill us in there, buddy.
I think it's just one of the sigils of the. I can't remember. I think it's one of the sigils of
Does that have anything to do with the fox and the snakes?
Yeah, the fox head medallion. Like, are we supposed to make a connection there? Or?
Sure.
That was a more. Again, reading his shures, I don't think, unless he's getting better at it.
No, he's not getting better at it.
Yeah, I don't think there's a huge connection.
We had a long talk at JordanCon with a couple of our friends and people there about how sometimes you guys think you have my shirts down to a science, and you're so far off. Like, oh, I know it now. That sure definitely meant I was right. I was laughing like, no, you're not.
Yeah, Alan is good at poker, so I guess I can't read into it too much.
Sometimes.
All right.
Anything from all this? I mean, like I said, they take the oath, and the last thing is, they need to find Althor to see. That's kind of their next step. Is they need to see for themselves. They're not going to make a decision without.
Yeah. It was interesting. Part of me wants to be like, oh no, this is bad for Rand, but it could be good for Rand. It depends on how things play out. And I'm not mad at these folks for coming together like this. Like I said, it makes sense with everything that's going on. The fight has changed. It makes sense that they're coming together and they're like, all right, let's go find out where the fight is and get involved. Mm-hmm. I get it. I'm a little worried though.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Worried.
Well, speaking of being worried, let's move to our favorite brown sister, Verin.
Brown or black?
That's a good question. After this chapter, I'm like,
don't you do that to Verin now.
I just did.
Now hear me out.
Listen and find out, Alan.
Hear me out.
Okay.
Hear me out.
Okay.
I'm gonna skip to the end first, Ian.
Do it.
Because I know where you're going with this.
Yeah.
We need him alive until it's his time to die.
Yeah.
Now hear me out. Verin is a what color?
Brown.
And what is their
brown cow?
Well, what is their thing?
Knowledge and librarian.
Knowledge and studying. Specifically, what has her focus been on? Like the prophecies.
Yeah, she spent some time with that, yeah.
I think she spent more time than she's let on, and we're going to learn more about that. And I think in one of these prophecies, we know that there are two that must become one in order for things to happen.
Yeah.
So, and then we have Verin, who is, okay, we're going to start from the back and work our way to the front. She's
giggity. Giggity.
I like it that way. Anyway, I almost got myself in trouble many a times with Chanel during this JordanCon weekend, by the way. This whole other personality comes out sometimes. She's compelling them, knowing that it will kill them. But these are people that are against.
But she says the power itself doesn't kill them. So she justifies it, and that's the way these oaths work. Is that if you can justify it, that
if you believe that you're not killing them,
right, then you can use it, even if you end up dying. It wasn't that killed you.
Yeah, but
the trouble is she's smart enough to know that she's using that justification as a workaround, so she still knows that she's killing them.
As we say, manipulating the hell out of it. I don't. But they were
black. Out Black Asha.
Yeah, they were Black Asha.
Right.
They were evil. They were the ones that were against Rand,
which makes her Forsaken. So the real Verin that we got to know and love died.
No.
at the hands of a Forsaken, and now what we think is Verin is actually a Forsaken.
What I see is
Verin
has put prophecy above all else, including the lives of these sisters who she's inevitably making better by giving them a slow release.
Also, you are allowed to use the one power to hurt people if it's against Dark Friends and Shadow Spawn. That is in the oath.
Yeah.
So if it's Black Asha, she knows they're Black Asha. She's allowed to kill them.
Yeah. So I mean that's where I'm like, I hear you when you say, is she a black sister? Because is she trying to stop them from giving away secrets and giving her up but I think it's more along the lines of she's so deep in prophecy and she's so dedicated to seeing it through, and these women are inevitably going to be in the way if they were to get free. She doesn't want to steal them because that's just outright wrong.
Yeah, she still has respect for Aes Sedai in general.
Yeah, but she has no problem with slowly ending their life,
hobbling them.
So I mean, it does make her dark in her own sadistic way.
Well, so there's plenty of things that Moraine did that were questionable, and we learned to love her, especially when we learned the story of how her and Swan found out about Rand and who he's going to become and had to find him, blah, blah, blah. So they were working outside of, the margins of what they were supposed to. I don't know. Yeah. So I got my eyes on Verin. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. But so there's a couple things that go back to the beginning. I mean, she's in the Aiel camp. They have captured some of these Aes Sedai that are being held prisoner, the Daishang or whatever. And one of the wise ones lets them question them, and she wants to question the Sisters Without Borders. You probably read Sisters, and she starts to do this weave, really complex weave. She also makes a couple of weird comments. She's had this one Angriel in her pocket that no one else knows about, a lily brooch that she's had for 40 years. She hasn't made a single mistake in 71 years. No major mistake in 71 years.
I want to know what that last major mistake was. Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Yeah.
It was probably when she became Black Aja.
Okay.
No. Oh, wait. Maybe she made the decision to be Black Aja, but she regrets it, and she is Black Aja, but she's working against them now. Dun dun dun.
She's a secret double agent man or woman. Yeah. Secret. Okay.
Agent
person. Yeah. So she ends up interrogating, is it Bedlin? She wanted to I guess interrogate Katerin, but Katerin had just escaped through the night, and everyone's pretty upset about that. Like, how could you escape from Aiel? Like what are you doing? And she had killed 3 people on the way out, which made her Black Aja. Cool. Well, it made her Black Aja. That confirms Black Aja. Yeah. So
yeah.
I'm sorry. I got a distracting text I want to share with everybody. This is the family I married into.
Oh. Are you going to share?
Yes. Alert. This is exactly how. Alert. I killed 2 large spiders in the garage last night by almost emptying a can of spider killer on them. I was too freaked out to remove them, so I left the bodies where they perished. I got out there this morning. There's only 1 dead spider. So now there's apparently an angry zombie spider lurking in the garage. Be warned. That's my mother-in-law.
I love it.
It's awesome.
Chanel, Mom, what? LOL. Yep, Dad swears he didn't move it. Beware. Dad.
Could have been ants. Could have been.
Could have been. But also, maybe don't tell them this because it'll freak them out. Think like sprays that advertise for killing spiders. Spiders are resilient to that stuff. The sprays where you spray hornets and stuff and it just melts them. You even try to use that on spiders, and spiders are like, "Get the fuck off me." The only way to get rid of a spider is a stomp and a smear. You have to slide your foot with the stomp because sometimes they go in the grooves of your shoe.
I took out a yellow jacket's nest last year. Not gonna use, I use spray. I used a whole entire thing of charcoal lighter fluid. Just
Yep.
That's another
flamed it.
Spiders are resilient.
My father-in-law, I didn't. The spider swam away because she emptied the whole can of spray on it.
That's funny. What a great comeback.
Yeah.
They swam away. Yeah. And for those of you out there that are animal lovers and even insect lovers, my policy, in case you're wondering, if they're outdoors and out doing what they're supposed to be doing, I never touch them. And if it's poisonous or harmful, I'll relocate. Really doesn't matter.
Yeah. Wolf spiders will relocate. I don't kill wolf spiders. They're good.
I was gonna say indoors. everybody's at risk of getting squashed. But depending, I've found a decent sized wolf spider indoors, and I've picked it up and taken it outside. So it depends on how much time I have, how convenient it is, what it is.
We had a spider
inside; they could get squashed.
Yeah, when I lived on the sailboat doing my sailing trip, we had a big spider that lived down the bilge, and we let him do his thing. He's gonna kill all the other bugs,
right?
So,
he's a companion for the trip. So
anyway. And that's how I feel about Verin.
I want to see how this unfolds. I'm letting her live her life. I'm not trying to get in her way.
Yeah,
she's
and
I'm intrigued by how there's people that are overtly trying to control the situation. There's people that are like sneaky good, sneaky bad. Verin doesn't seem to fit in any of those categories, but she's kind of playing dumb. But people they know she's not dumb, but she still kind of plays dumb, but is still working really heavy behind the scenes. And she's very knowledgeable.
All right.
It's going to be, very excited to see how things unfold with her.
Yeah. And the last point that she makes
really good notes of everything too. I'm sorry. She's like the numbers of people here. There are more than enough to envelope a few Aes Sedai prisoners. Yet Verin saw the black robe woman plotting more. Like she's very observant. She's taking these notes that she's hiding clearly in her books. She's, when the wise one comes in and they see her book after she drops it, which we didn't really talk about, she picks up and she's like, oh, just notes about leaves and other things that you've seen. And she's like, yes, I like to take notes about things that I observe in nature. She's like, one day I'm gonna have to write my ciphers down because I have hundreds of books that somebody will need one day.
Yeah. So she's writing everything in code.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even matter if somebody picks it up.
Yeah. She's brilliant.
Yeah.
I'd like to go to a panel where it's Loyal and Verin talking about all the things they observe and report on and write.
That would be
and that need to document.
Yeah. And I guess the point that you brought up, Chris, in the beginning of the Verin section, that was actually the last thing, where she said, need to keep Rand alive until it's time for him to die. That's part of the prophecy. And the prophecy is that his blood will be spilled on the rocks of Sheo Ghul. And Rand even thinks he has to die in order to win. I mean, that's what he has that mentality too. I mean, that's
so I know you say Dark Verin, but no, I can't put that on Verin. Now, if I'm wrong in 2 books, I owe you a chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A or something on a Sunday.
Ooh, on a Sunday?
On a Sunday.
There's only 2 of them in the entire country that are open on Sunday.
Is there really one that's open on a Sunday?
Yeah, there's a couple universities. There's a couple
Chinese.
There's a few universities that they made a deal with Chick-fil-A that if you're going to be on campus, you have to serve food. Otherwise, you don't have a spot on campus. And they there's a couple of universities that have on campus Chick-fil-A.
CNU's not.
CNU's not one of them. Virginia Tech is.
Christian Chick-fil-A.
Virginia Tech is.
I guess I'm driving 3 hours to Tech and then 4 hours to.
Yeah, Virginia Tech has an on-campus Chick-fil-A open on Sunday. At least it used to. I'm not sure if
I'll meet you in Blacksburg.
Okay, we could do that.
All right.
Blacksburg. I've been to Blacksburg forever.
It's been a minute.
It's been a while.
Blacksburg was fun when I was in my 20s. I don't know if going back now, Blacksburg
memories.
Good times in Blacksburg.
Speaking of memories, nobody remembers when she compels. And she's getting information, but we really didn't learn anything new here, which that really disappointed me.
This is the beginning. It's just the beginning, Chris.
I know.
Just speak up.
She's gonna get something.
You think so?
She's doing it to all of them. Remember, she's talking about how she has to get 6 more eyes to die, right? And she's trying to pace herself. She's like, I don't want to be too tired. Gotta pace myself because I take control of literally everybody here.
My mind went way somewhere else. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, and also interesting, she has to be very patient in how she does this because they pointed out this type of weave and compulsion, you can't force it on somebody. They have to be open to it. So she's got to find the right situation, like with this one.
Well, and they thought she was healing them.
Open up to healing, blah blah blah, and then that kind of puts them in the right state of mind. And then it takes a while, so she talks through it to keep them talking and keep them all so they're not guarded and distract them until she.
How old is Verin?
She's pretty old. I think she's in her 90s.
She talks about all the years it took for her to piece together.
I want to say she's in her 90s.
This weave.
Oh,
it mentions it in The Great Hunt how old she is. She does say how old she is. It's not a spoiler. She does mention it in The Great Hunt.
Right. It did mention it, but let's go back to her comment about the mistake she made, the last mistake. How long ago was it?
40 years ago.
70.
Maybe maybe her last mistake, and she's recognizing it, was becoming an Aes Sedai and using the Oath Rod. Remember, so I'm still anti-Oath Rod. That hasn't changed. And maybe she's figured out the problems with the Oath Rod.
Or maybe she had a chance to become the Amerlin and didn't take it.
That's true. It could be something like that.
She's older than I. Hold on. How old is she?
She's like hundreds of years old, isn't she?
Not hundreds.
She's no Yoda.
Hold on. She is 151.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so maybe not the Oath Rod. You would think she did it well before then.
Yeah.
Could be, though.
Yeah. 151.
151. 151, that's the shit that'll put you on your ass.
Or get you riding the boat.
You're like, man, this is fantastic. I'm having a good time. I can't feel my legs.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about this one, the Red escaping. We didn't even touch on that.
We briefly touched it, but yeah, let's talk about it. Killed 3 on the way out.
How did she manage?
How do you escape for Aiel?
How do you and wise ones at that? Aiel and wise ones.
Are we not concerned about? Let's just talk about the Aiel response to that.
Oh yeah, don't tell Rand.
Not even
now. Part of me thinks
don't tell Rand is lying about your failure. That's some big ass fucking toe.
That's toe. Now hear me out. It was on purpose.
What, to follow her?
To her escape.
To let her escape was on purpose.
Do you think there's
to what end?
Do you think there's people working?
I do think they're
more dark for Aiel.
Doing it to well, there could be dark for Aiel. That's one.
There are dark for Aiel.
And then the second is because I feel like they do have some plan to keep an eye on her and to watch where she goes, who she reports to. Like the Aiel can track her, and she wouldn't know it.
And they could get in her dreams unless she knows that they could get in her dreams and she has a way to block it. But that's possible. That would be some redemption for these wise ones.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's why they're not going full toe, because they have a plan here. But this could be some Fast and Furious shit where they're like, we're going to let her go and track her. How you going to track her? Well, we're going to put this tracking device on her. You mean the one in your hand? Shit, I knew I forgot something. Like, whoops.
Bless you.
Thanks.
No, he's a dark friend. Don't bless him.
I took an oath.
You did. Actually, you took the oath?
I took an oath to the way of the light. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's the way of light. I took it.
Here's my thought, though. We were actually allowed to take oaths while we were at Jordan Con. If I were a dark friend, what oath would I take?
Oh, you take an oath to the shadow.
No. I'll take an oath to the light, so people would think I'm of the light.
Yeah,
that way I could be of the darkness.
A good dark friend. Alan, again, worst dark friend ever. I took an oath to the shadow. I got a t-shirt. I'm the bad guy. Look at me. Yeah.
He was the champion, by the way, this year. He had all of our swag, and I was the loser.
I
completely forgot to bring
I had all of it.
I love it.
My shirts are still on the
Nesta shirt. I had a Will Reed shirt. I had a Team Pater shirt.
Chris, I saw you and Chanel dressed up, though, and y'all did it right.
Yeah.
Y'all look good.
She'd been planning, literally bought pieces to that from the day we were leaving Jordan Con last year.
Just putting it together. That was great.
Well, I am going to cosplay next year. I bought the first piece to my cosplay while I was there. So.
Ooh. Oh, yeah.
Is it a broken nose?
It's a dueling cane. We'll let you guess why. realize I'm using the term dueling cane, and I'll leave it.
Well, he hasn't read that yet.
I know.
So.
When he gets there, he's like, "That's what he's talking about."
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I know something you don't know.
It's Mistborn Era 2. It's just not the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, you ruined it.
Whatever. It's Tamanis. Yes, tall mayonnaise.
Yeah,
I'm going as tall mayonnaise.
Well, then I'm going to go as skinny ketchup.
All right. Yeah. Nice. All right. We got one more point of view to get through. And probably one of my most, I had the most questions about, and not the same questions you probably have, but I do want to adjust my questions because I never get the answers to my questions. But
sure.
Moridin, is sitting in a windowless, doorless room, and he's playing with his 2 mind traps. So we know one of them is Magedian's mind trap. I don't think we know
who's the second one.
Yeah.
No, we don't. That was the first thing I thought was 2.
2.
Did he even have 2 the last time we saw him?
He had Magedian's.
Yeah, but did he have 2 the last time
so.
we saw him? I don't think. You're not purple right now, Ian.
Mm. Oh,
the lighting got just right. I don't know.
Don't move.
But it could be Samuel, whatever we're calling him.
You think so?
Well, we're assuming he died or got gobbled up by whatever the smoky tendrils are in that place. But
so in the chat earlier, that's why I put he's one and the same. The Watcher that helped Rand is the same Watcher that's fighting directly against Rand.
Playing both. Well, he does talk about playing both sides.
He just say he's playing both sides. So I'm like, okay, now we know that he's just here he is the Lord of Chaos.
Yeah. And he has one of the soulless people come in to serve him wine with dead eyes.
Yeah.
Just like that. Yeah, which we saw those people at Darkfin Social.
Jordan oddly makes a point that this guy serving him is like really attractive though. Like, why was that necessary to mention?
Just because they like nice things.
Nice things? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a really creepy giggity moment.
Yeah.
But he's playing the old. Yeah, go ahead.
Nope, that's what I was gonna say. You're going there. I'm gonna let you do
I was saying he's playing the ancient form of stones, the original one called Shora. And these are my questions because I will spoil it. This never gets answered. I want to know how to play this freaking game. It sounds freaking awesome.
So there were games there were games that were at Jordan Con that were for auction. I'm wondering if one of those was that game because it looked more complicated than what I thought stones should be.
Yeah, so this is like the super complicated version of stones. It's like the original version where you had the fissure, and it doesn't start to capture the fissure, but there's all these like different colors on the outside of the board, different color. Like,
so does it gives the number of pieces,
right?
And it describes that fissure one. Does it give the number of spaces on the board?
490 something. Wasn't it 13 by 13?
Well, so I'm gonna throw this out there for anybody who wants to do an experiment. Stuff like this, we're too old to figure out. What you need to do is set it up in the middle of your playroom. If you have kids age, we'll call it like 8 and under, 9 and under.
Yeah.
9-year-olds still have great imagination. 9 and under, kids' room, just lay out what facts we know of how this game is laid out. And when they come in and they go, oh my gosh, this is awesome. What is it? Go, I don't know. It's a game, but I'm not sure how it plays. The only rule I know is XYZ. Just tell them what we know. And I promise you they'll figure out how the game is supposed to be played.
I can see that.
Just sit back and watch. So if you want to learn to play the ancient game of stones, Alan, set it up and have your kids figure it out.
Like well, then we'll start to play Star Wars. That's all they want to play these days. That's always so.
How do you know that's wrong?
That's not wrong.
That might be 100% the way it's supposed to be played.
Dad, can I play Star Wars? What does that mean?
Now look, only 9 people living even remember the game. Are those the 9
Forsaken? I don't know. Probably. Yeah. And he even comments about the Fisher piece because the Fisher is a blindfolded guy with an injury on its side. He even thinks maybe it is somehow Althor from a previous turning. Like he even talks about like it might be based on an ancient legend of Althor.
Again, Chris, on the front cover we have Rand wearing the crown of swords. On the back cover we have some ancient statue. I know there's a glare. I don't know why I'm doing it.
No, you're good. I can see it though.
There's the head from an ancient statue that could be Rand, and it clearly has the crown of swords all broken up on there. So are we just
seeing two different visions of the same? Yeah.
The wheel keeps on.
It's
wheel in the sky keeps on turning.
Repeating. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he suspects that. He also comments on being able to use the true power. And the saw, which is like the little flex that float in his eye.
Mm-hmm.
Comments on that.
Now, the description of the room that he's in and the fire that burns without burning and stuff, this is all very similar to the initial, the very first dream.
Bowsies, yeah.
With Ballsy. So I remember Alan asking, like, okay, do you think this is just a straight up dream or an actual place? Well, now it seems very much like an actual place. But then the question is, where is he? Because it doesn't feel like Teleron Riyadh. It's different than that.
Interesting. Sure.
And his anger, he's so quick to anger, but then just cooled off equally as quick.
Yeah, just starts laughing. He's like, I'm playing both sides. I can't
laughing to the point of tears.
Yeah, because he realizes he can't lose. He's playing both sides. But he's talking about this. He's talking about the stone sport. He's not talking about.
Sure.
This is kind of like
stood waiting, but in the greater game, Althor moved already to his wishes, and soon it was very hard to lose a game when you played both sides of the board. Like, he's already got Althor doing exactly what he wants him to do, is what he's saying here.
Yeah. Somewhat related. Have y'all ever played chess against yourself?
Yes.
And actually tried to win both sides? That's very difficult. And it takes a while. And inevitably, I end up cheering for one side, like hoping that one side wins, and that's what messes you up, because then
you try to make it win.
Yeah.
And it always loses.
But trying to stay true to no matter which side you're on, you take the time, take a day, a couple days, look at it, and try to play both sides. It's very hard to do.
Well, it's very easy. You're gonna win.
It's hard. It's hard to do it and 100% be playing for both sides. Yes. I guess is my point.
Yeah.
Inevitably, you somewhere in your mind, a voice speaks to you of a winner you want to see.
Some little voices speaking to me.
Yeah. Now make it even more complicated. Actually, get a chess clock and try to do it.
I would argue with myself in my head on who I want to win more than I would focus on the next move.
But if you have a clock, you have to worry about time. So you have to,
Yep.
See, I hate playing games these days without a clock.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I have a few friends I play with, and one absolutely refuses to use a clock. And I hate playing with them because it's always like a 3 or 4 hour game each time I play. And he will sit there and spend forever on, especially in game, 15 minutes on one move.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm like,
no, can't do that.
Dude, if we had a clock, I would have beaten you so bad at this point. Like, if you could think of every single possible move, you're gonna work your way out of all my traps and everything like that. I'm trying to lay. Like, get a clock. Right. At this point, he's too good at the level not to play the clock. If that makes sense. Like,
right.
Yeah.
So. Well, when you're at that point, you can either play the game out 3, 4, 5, 10 moves ahead, or you can't. 10 minutes ain't gonna help you. You either see it and you play with the clock, or you don't see it and you're rolling the dice.
Yeah. I gotta use a clock. Gotta play the clock. Anyway, time games are the way to go. That's how we end this chapter. He's gonna win because he's playing both sides. So Moridin's our new main character. He's gonna be the one that wins.
I bet you he didn't show up again in this book.
Don't even get me started. This book might have nothing to do with Rand. It might have nothing to do with any of these people we met in.
I don't think we're going to see Perrin in this book.
I'm hoping that a big theme in this book is going to be the Perrin, Fail, and then that queen from Saldea. Part of me is hoping that would be interesting.
I have a feeling it's not going to be that.
But remember, at the end of the last book, Matt was in a position where he could get snatched up by the Shanchan. Maybe this turns into a Matt book and finding the love of his life and partnering up with the Shanchan.
Okay.
I don't know about partnering up with, but I know it's going to involve the Shanchan, and I don't even necessarily seeing the same Shanchan from last book being the ones that are in this book.
What we have some references in the prologue of how much time's gone by. At least in the prologue, it was only like a few days, wasn't it? From the end of the last book.
I don't remember that.
I thought Verin said something about only a couple of days. So we're not, at least right now, we're not too far forward from where the last book ended.
So we shall see.
We shall see. We shall. So anything from the prologue? Any big major predictions? I mean, I know you just named a few, but any other major predictions that you guys have for this book? I mean,
I feel like we're gonna see Rand tap into a larger power again, because I feel like we're at that point. This is like the downslope. So I feel like we're at a point where we got to see Rand really rip Matt. We know that's not going to happen. We know that's not happening. But we're at a point where Rand's really got to start consolidating power. Well, there's still 7 more books. So I'm going to say prayerfully that we should be at a point where Rand should start consolidating his energies and his forces. So like, I think he's going to start like learning to use the different Angreal or Terngreal that he has at his disposal. He may end up like drawing on powers and learning how to use them better than he has in the past, ones that he already had. Like I said already, I know we're going to see more Shanchan. That just has to happen because the way the last book ended, I feel like that's just the beginning of their chapter.
They just scratched that surface.
I feel like the Bowl of Winds is going to be used really early on in this book, and it's going to do something not what they planned. I think it's going to do something stupid.
Okay.
Not stupid, but it's like, I don't want to say necessarily negative, but definitely not what they thought it was going to do.
What book is after this? What's the title of the book after this?
The Winter's Heart.
Winter's Heart. So when I was joking around pretending I'd have Winter's Heart, it, you know, not just the title, but it was very snowy, icy, whatever. So I started thinking at that brief moment, what if we have some like Game of Thrones type shit where winter is coming?
Yeah.
So instead of this hot, no rain, nothing, like something happens or the Bowl of Winds ends up in the wrong hands or whatever, and it becomes winter is coming. And that's the path we are traveling down here.
Okay.
I feel like we're going to finally get, since we're kind of talking in general, I think we're going to finally see Elaine meet back up with her mother.
Oh, okay.
Or at least take the throne.
I don't know about the throne yet. Maybe,
no?
maybe.
I feel more likely that she takes the throne or visits home.
Yeah, yes. Okay, I'll go with that. Why just not see any of her in this book? We saw too much of her in the last book. I'm still not confident in any parent chapters though, even though these are directly Mael's people. Like I could see Jordan just being that type of person and being like, "Hey, y'all thought so."
If Jordan had love for Perrin, this would be a great book to spend some time with him.
I agree. Completely agree.
And I keep going back to that intersection. I keep bringing up, like, I feel like there could be some very good, like, tension there that could bring about some great storytelling.
Okay.
So I'm hoping for it. And it's not even for your sake, Chris. Normally when I hope for Perrin, it's because I'm like, oh, I love Chris. I hope we get some Perrin. Like, I think there's opportunity here for great storytelling.
For you, though, I think we're going to get more of our... we're going to get some of the steading.
Ooh.
Some Ogier.
We're gonna get some Ogier. We're gonna get some. I haven't seen him in so long. I can't remember his name.
Loyal.
Some Loyal.
Remember when they went? Remember when they went through the mirror world and Loyal sang to the tree and got a weapon out of it, and we started talking about like, wait, how did the Ogier fight? What's it going to be like if the Ogier actually decide to fight? Like, I don't know that we're there yet. I feel like that's gonna be an end of book thing, but yeah, just getting into that Ogier world any more than we have would be awesome.
I think we're gonna get some of that.
Because there's no way they stay out of all of this.
No,
they've got to get pulled into it.
Okay,
and not just Loyal. I'm talking about all the Ogier.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I will tell you, there is no choices at all.
There are no choices.
Well, there's no chapter called choices.
Right.
There is a chapter.
Chapters with dice icons.
Sure. But there's a changes chapter.
Changes.
Yeah. Anyway, so favorite character.
You know what? I hate to say it, but because I'm being optimistic, and I think Verin really is trying to protect Rand, I'm giving it to Verin this go around.
Good choice.
Yeah, Verin's a solid pick. Gosh, can I just give a shout out to the camaraderie of the northern countries bordering the Blight, how they come together?
I mean, I'll give you that. The Canadians come together very well.
Yeah, I feel like there's going to be some backstabbing and there's going to be some people that go different directions, but at least in this moment, them coming together.
They have a ninny for a queen and they still stand behind her.
Yeah.
They solid folk. I like it.
In my honest pick is Moridin. And hear me out. Just because playing both sides is a classic, I respect it.
I do too. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I respect it.
I'm a fence rider.
That's an honest answer. That's not just me being a dark friend.
No, I am too.
If you could put yourself in a position where no matter what the outcome you win, I mean that's smart.
Yeah. So next time on the Wheel Reads, we'll be doing 2 chapters, not just one. We'll be doing 2.
Yay!
It's going to be To Keep the Bargain, and Unweaving.
Oh, Unweaving.
To keep the bargain, we're getting back with the Sea Folk and one of their bargains made, either with Rand or with Matt and following the girls.
Yeah, I mean the unweaving part, it's hard to take it out sometimes. It's
it is.
It's really tough to undo them.
I don't know. It only takes apparently it only takes one fight between 3rd and 4th period to get that weave all over the hallway.
Or messing with the wrong substitute teacher.
Right, or the wrong substitute, and it just.
Oh, who was the teacher that threw a chair at a student?
Which time?
I don't
know. I know what you're talking. I know what you're talking about.
Tommy Ringen dragged a kid across the gym floor.
Yeah, we had a teacher jack a kid up one time, but it was. I mean, there's a couple of cases like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I may have put a kid through a window at the Boys and Girls Club, but
that's at the Boys and Girls Club.
We're good friends these days. So.
A couple times I saw a teacher get handsy with a student. Both times,
Bobby Knight.
They had it coming. The student did. So
yeah.
The rest of the students were like, "That's what you get."
Yeah.
There were no snitches in that group.
Nope.
That kid just went to the nurse, and that was it.
To keep the bargains, definitely going to be a Nynaeve, Egwene.
Okay.
I think so.
Or Nynaeve, Elaine. Sorry.
So they're all with the Sanchin right now. They're in Ebidar. So
Sea Folk.
Yeah.
But with the Sanchin too. Yeah, they just showed up
there. But I feel like they're far enough away at this point, maybe.
Okay.
That they can hopefully.
Interesting.
Well, I think
we left Matt in the hands of the Shan Chan though.
Yeah, but in the same city.
We left Matt under a wall.
Yeah.
Like literally. A wall collapsed.
He's to Verin. No, not on him. Very close to him. He's to Verin. He ended up in the perfect spot so that the wall landed all around him, on top of him, but not actually like crushing him. He'll be all right.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Cool. Yeah. All right. Well, that's what we're doing next week. So it should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I don't think we have a guest for it. Let me just double check.
Chanel says there's some chapter she wants to be in on. So
let me know now because I'm booking up guests fast. We already have 2 guests booked for.
Hey, Chanel, what chapters did you want to be a part of? What chapters did you want to be a part of?
This is our quality podcast program right here.
This is the planning stage.
Yeah.
Although, Chris, if I were you, like if Meredith got caught up or ahead of us wanted to be on, I wouldn't even ask Alan because he sends us the link.
Just show up.
Yeah, very true.
If she just shows up, do you think Alan's going to go, no, Chanel, you need to get to of this episode? Yeah. No. I'd be like, oh my gosh, Chanel. And then we'd have an episode.
Yeah. We don't need to know. Another guest can be on too. It's fine.
Yeah. She can hop on.
Whatever. Bring her on when Nakomi comes on. We're gonna bring Nakomi back.
Yeah.
Nakomi wants a redemption.
So I love seeing the pictures of y'all posting with her. And I was thinking back to the episode she's been on and when we've had a chance to talk to her. And I am a little bit jealous of the time we got to spend with her because she's a lot of our guests have been my favorite at some point, but she's awesome.
Yeah. So that was cool. You saw how it blew up on Twitter, which is pretty cool.
Yep. Yeah. Very cool.
Well, you got a DM from Amazon Prime.
We did.
Yeah. Chris did.
That was great.
Not me. They went directly to Chris.
To be fair, they went to Nakomi and crew, and then it was passed along. So they actually went to Chanel.
Oh, did they? Interesting.
Yeah, because she's in the picture too. Yeah, and so they actually tagged you. They're like, "Is this the at Will Reads?" Yes, ish. Yeah.
Oh,
they Will Reads adjacent.
I mean, I haven't.
That's the thing. Amazon should have figured this out by now. When everybody gets together, there's not like this is a Will Reads crew and this is a Will Takes crew and this is it's a everybody.
Yeah, it's just
they overlap so many different ways. Everybody loving on the same stuff.
Let's see. I don't think I mean, not that I haven't DM'd with them before. Yeah. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it.
It's been a while.
I gotta check my non-disclosure before
I did sign an NDA.
I know. I remember. We can talk about it. I didn't sign an NDA.
I didn't sign shit.
And I checked those. I checked those emails, and I checked.
Yeah, I did sign an NDA a while ago. Yeah, I don't remember. I think it was October was last time I did. Anyway, so
I didn't sign an NDA for this one. Thank you guys for recognizing all of the people that went to Jordan Con. Thank you to the Wheel of Time Prime, whatever you call yourselves. We thoroughly appreciate
the Twitter chaos.
The Twitter of chaos. We appreciate you guys recognizing us and our love for the book. And if you give us the date for season 2, we'll love you more.
Yeah, but thank you, Chris.
The great thing about the NDA, I mean, when I had to do that was a long time ago. It's lapsed at this point, but it was not we were allowed to criticize as much as we want, which was nice. It was not a gag order. It was just kind of like, hey, we're thinking about doing these things, and not using us at all. But I think they went to a lot of content creators for it, but yes, whatever. So cool. Next time, so that's all I got this week. So come find us at thewillreads.com. Write awesome, horrible reviews because I do actually enjoy sharing those with all our mods and Ian and Chris when we get bad reviews and laughing about them because I don't care. And it's a coping mechanism because I do care because it hurts, but I laugh about it to make me feel better. And yeah, so thewilburys.com, you can find all links to stuff like Discord, our merchandise, which we have lots of cool merchandise. My semester shirt, which nobody got the reference to, which is my favorite merch item. Just because Plant Supreme, it's what plants crave, is
It's
definitely
fantastic.
It's such a deep cut, but it's such a good shirt. But yeah, so go check out that. Support us on Patreon. That pays for a lot of stuff like Chris's extra night hotel room.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I really do.
And equipment too. I'm actually I just bought a new camera, not because this one's bad, because I just want something better.
Upgrade.
No, because I have a secret project I'm working on. It's with the Wheel of Reeds, but I haven't talked to anybody about it yet. But we'll get there.
Upgrade was the same reference or same movie reference as it's what your body craves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got a secret thing I'm working on right now. I will be announcing that soonish. But yeah. And that's all I got for this week. So
until next time.
Peace.
Okay, bye.